Well, how are you today?
Fine, thanks.
Fine. Very happy to go in Russian.
No, me too. We're waiting for you.
For me, it's my first time.
Oh, and for you, Clemon, as I know, you've been here.
Yes, I compete for the Tchaikovsky competition in Moscow in 2011. So almost years ago, but I stayed for almost 8 days in Moscow. So I'm super happy to come back there.
Oh, and how long are you going to be here now?
Oh, it's gonna be very short, only 3 days, 3 nights, 4 days, 3 nights. Yeah.
Nice. So, for everyone who watched us today, we have Monday, the 16th November, and this recording, this interview will be released in the evening following the November 19th concert in Thursday. Yeah. And today with us, French conductor and composer Dilane, conductor of Ensemble Intercontemporain since 2015. Am I right?
Yes.
Yep. And French trumpeter Clément Sonnier, the principal trumpet of Ensemble Intercontemporain since 2013.
Yes.
And me, Renej Fahradovой, postgraduate student of the Moscow Conservatory, which writes PhD about spectral music. Yeah. So let's start with perhaps the most pressing issue of today. What is the current situation with concert activities in Europe and France due to COVID-19 pandemic situation?
Who is speaking first?
Who wants? Maybe you, come on.
Okay. It's been something unreal who happened those last months because for the first lockdown, almost everything stopped. No concert, no rehearsals, nobody in the street, no trains, no restaurants, nothing. And just after this lockdown, we had almost a normal summer for life. We had vacations, everything, but for art, it's been not normal. I mean, we cannot play in the front of an entire audience. So we tried to find new or different ways to record a lot, some videos, and to rehearse some pieces that we wanted to rehearse for a long time. And for example, we had a concert with 22 new pieces for chamber music that we have recorded in July in the Théâtre du Châtelet in Paris. So we try to develop new things and to record a lot. But at this time, we have started our second lockdown. So the situation is maybe more difficult at this time. And it's the same. We're playing live concerts on the web sometimes, or on TV also, but we cannot play in front of an audience at all. So we can rehearse and play, but not meet our public, and not sell. We cannot sell tickets at this time. So it's gonna be a real economic problem in the next few weeks and years, maybe.
Dylan, did this pandemic situation influence on your plans?
Actually, I think I'm lucky because I'm conducting now the ensemble for this concert in Russia, and just last week I conducted the Radio France Philharmonic for a project with hip hop, you know, and there was no public, but it was on the TV and on YouTube. So it was very, very nice and to conduct and to do this project. And yes, for me, so it's okay. And until at the end of November, I have another project with Radio France, and just on for the TV, you know. So no audience, no public, but just TV. So it's okay, but we will see after this. Maybe in December, we don't know if we can play more concert with audience or not, just rehearsal. We will see at the beginning of December.
It's really good because you're quite lucky, you know. So both of you have quite long experience of working with the Ensemble Intercontemporain. And let's speak maybe about this a little. Let's start with you, Cleman, because as far as I know, you started working in the ensemble a little earlier. So how and when did your collaboration with the ensemble begin?
My first time, I heard the ensemble playing for concerts when I was studying in the Paris National Conservatory. So I heard them several times at the Cité de la Musique. It is a concert hall where we rehearse, play almost each week. So I knew this ensemble for a long time, and I was really attracted to play contemporary music and to discover a new artistic fields, you know, because the name Intercontemporain, it is to mix different arts and to have an open mind, okay? And then I have been invited by the principal trumpet at this time, Antoine Curé, to institute for a concert, and then I took the audition to be a permanent member in 2013, and since then I'm a current trumpet player.
You, Clément, you have worked with many famous composers and musicians, as I know, with Matthias Pincher, Peter Oetwisch, Pascal de Sepin, and so on. With whom did the interactions turn out to be the most memorable?
For me, obviously, it is our main conductor, actually our musical director, Matthias Pincher, because we started the same day at the ensemble. His first day was also my first day, so it's a special relationship. And Matthias Pincher wrote a lot for the trumpet and horn too. And I had the privilege all these last years to play almost all the repertoire he wrote for this instrument, and to have time to develop skills to play it in the most good way, in a good way. So, and to discuss with him about his choice, and to feel now without words what he really wants to have. So I could say also the last composer we played a lot, like Olga Neuwirth or Helmut Lachenmann, or the many composers. It could be Ivan Fedele or great names like this. But the connection with Matthias that we saw and played a lot those last years is special at this time.
Mm-hmm. Dylan, and what about your story with the ensemble?
My story?
Yeah.
At the beginning, I played a little with the ensemble with my French bassoon. so in this famous festival in Lucerne. So I played bassoon, but my dream was to conduct, to be a conductor. So I go for this audition in 2015 to be the assistant conductor, and so it was nice because I won this post with so Matthias Pincher in principal conductor, and so during 2 years I was assistant. So I know now more the musicians in the ensemble, and after these 2 years, the ensemble invited me to conduct like a guest conductor, something like 2 times in the year. So I like this because I know all musicians now, and yeah, it's a good feeling to be here with this musician, young and oldest. Yes, nice ensemble.
And as far as I know, you had the opportunity to work with Pьером Булезом. Has this collaboration influenced you?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, I worked with Pьером Булезом in Lucerne Festival, but never in the ensemble. And when Pьером Булезом conducting this orchestra, I played bassoon. It was a nice experience to watch, the maestro, like big maestro of conducting and composing, and he was very nice person with young people. And after, I think Clément know Pьером Булezom better than me. I think so. No, Clément?
Not really, actually, because I met him before I joined the ensemble. I played, I remember, in Théâtre du Châtelet, and he was conducting the orchestra. And then I met him twice at the ensemble, but he was already almost at the end of his life and not very healthy. It was a little bit difficult to discuss. So I didn't have the privilege to play under his direction, bateau, like we say in Paris. And it's weird because I hear about him every day, about the composer and about his amazing mind, brilliant mind, and his legacy also. So it's
several minds.
Oh yes, amazing mind. And my colleagues, sure, most of them grew up with Pьером Булезom as a musician and human beings. So I read his books now.
Yeah.
I try to read all of them to know him better.
Mm-hmm. And you, Clément, you have already been to Moscow in 2011. Could you please tell about this event to Moscow?
Yes, I came 2011 to compete for a trumpet competition at for the Tchaikovsky competition in Moscow, and at the conservatory and the concert hall. So it was a great privilege to play and to have a prize there, to play with the orchestra and to meet some of the most brilliant trumpet soloists and orchestra's members from Bolshoi or National Orchestra of Russia, and also legendary teachers of the conservatory. It's a very known school for the trumpet, and it's very, very famous and it was something for me to be, you know, it's like for a trumpet player coming in Paris and working on the famous method Arban book that has been written there. So being able to listen the Russian sound and style in Russia, in Moscow, it was great. I'm very glad to have been there this time and to come back this week.
Yeah, we're waiting for you a lot, for all of you. We hope that you will be here soon. And now a couple questions maybe for you, Dilan, because many great conductors have a purpose for which they are engaged in conducting in music. Why did you become a conductor? How did you realize that you want to conduct?
To be honest, at 5 years old, I wanted to become a conductor. I don't know why, but it was just an evidence for me to go in this way, to be a conductor. And so after this, I worked very much and practiced different instruments, because I thought the conductor has to play all instruments. Yes, it was, I don't know why, but so I practiced a lot of instruments like woodwinds and strings and piano and brass with the trumpet. And but after this, one thing was very important in my studies, conducting studies, because I played a lot inside the orchestra, and I think it's here inside the best school to learn conducting, and that's why you can watch, you know, like Pьером Булезом or Sokiev, Togan Sokiev, you know, because I played with Toulouse, Chung or Jordan. And here you can understand what is this job, this psychology job of a conductor. And it's an amazing job for me.
So do you think it is necessary to play all instruments to be a conductor? Or maybe it's helpful?
Yeah, it's not necessary, but after this, when you know very much the instrument, you can say for the instrumentist in the orchestra or in the ensemble what you want exactly, what the sound, and you know each difficulties of instrument, and you know exactly the sound you want. You can precise for the instrument, and he knows you know the instrument, you know. Yes, for me it's very important to know instrument when you are a conductor.
As you know, you play not only contemporary but also classical and not classical music. Does the approach to the performance of music by composers of different eras differ for you?
You mean to conduct an ensemble contemporary music?
No,
or?
I mean when you play Beethoven or whatever, whoever, and you play, for instance, Pьером Булезом, is your approach to how you should play it differ?
Yeah, it's not exactly the same, because when you conduct classical music like Mozart, Schumann, or Ravel, something like this, you know the music, you know the melody, you know the harmony. But when you conduct special composer like Gérard Griset, something like this, or Xenakis or Stockhausen, you have to know what he wants in this music. And at the beginning, you don't know. Because the first time I conducted Griset, if you take the score of Griset like this, let's go, it's impossible. Because you have to know his way of thinking the music. And that's why for me it's not exactly the same. When you take a score of Mozart, you know Mozart during a lot of time. Yes, you have to study, but it's different. It's different way to. And of course, with creation, when you study score with a composer, and it's the premiere, it's very different because a lot of responsibility. So it's different.
Clément, what is your way to play contemporary music? Why contemporary?
Why? Yeah, very good question. It's a good question. I remember the first times I wanted to play it, and why, and maybe why I liked it. It is a very strange feeling to have scores with a lot of things written, like a lot of rhythms, a lot of informations about interpretation, and it's also weird to have such liberty because of that. You know, when you play a symphony or a concerto by Haydn, it is difficult to create something really new now. Okay, but being on the edge of what's happening now, being the first or the first players to play or to try to play things, it's a feeling very interesting for me, and it's curious, but I have the feeling to be totally free and open when I play modern music or contemporary music, and it's a real pleasure for me. And about your first question about interpretation, and Dilan spoke about understanding what's happening and what are the artistic desires from the composer. It is like when you're walking in a museum for a contemporary exposition or a modern art exposition. It is there is many ways to have reactions when you're in the front of a new art or a new feeling. I prefer the curious way, where you try to understand what is written, you know, on the picture, and to have the dates and the title, and try to understand what the artist want to give to you, what feelings you want to express, and not being instead of not being afraid by what you see or hear or anything. It is an intellectual also exercise or way of living.
Clément, do you remember the most strong feeling from contemporary music as a listener and as a performer? Impression.
As a performer, it's complicated now to to say this, but I must say I really love our main piece, maybe the most famous piece for the ensemble Intercontemporain. It is a piece by Pьером Булезом, Répond, because it is a piece I've played a lot with the ensemble, and which is dedicated for this ensemble. I mean, the audience is quite fascinating by it also when you can hear it. Okay, and in the room, maybe my favorite one at this time when I don't play, I love to hear one of my colleagues who plays the double bass clarinet, and there is a piece by a French composer, Yann Robin, and Art of Metal, and this piece for solo clarinet and electronics, live electronic music. This piece is amazing. So I love to hear it sometimes live.
Thank you very much for your answer. And Dylan, what about you? What is why exactly contemporary music?
Why? I think I love contemporary music, and I love improvisation too, because I love to. I'm curious about new sound. You have an instrument, and what can you play but new with your instrument? And with I think with contemporary music, composers try to go of deep of the instruments, like what we can play. And after, when you are a conductor, you have to go in this way of the composer. New sound, like the piece with your first piece, Clément, with the thing inside your mouth. You will see in the concert. It's new, a new sound, and that's why I like contemporary music, and I like the way of thinking of musicians who plays contemporary music. You know, I think they are not like sometimes musicians are one more time this piece. With ensemble and music, contemporary music, it's every day is new. You know, new music, new technical, and you have to play this piece. And I like particularly a composer is Sciarrino. Sciarrino, I like it's like sound. We don't know exactly which sounds, but actually now, you know, I'm very young. I'm a young conductor, and I discover a lot of music, a lot of composers, and in contemporary music, and I like this because for me, because I'm a composer, so I think about this. I'm thinking about the music I discover.
And as you said, besides the conductor, you're also a composer. Has your experience of composing music influenced your perception of music as a performer?
You mean if the composition and conducting?
I mean, yeah. I mean, your experience of composing.
Yeah.
Did it influence your performance, your listening to music, your thinking of music?
Yes, of course. For me, it's double. It's like conductor and composer. It's like this. And with my experience with having played several instruments, it's also it's very important because I understand the music inside, like a composer. Because when you are a composer, the first day it's white paper. You know, it's like so what inspiration, and after this you can understand more what why the composer are genius, because at the beginning it's the same white paper for all composers. And after this, yes, when I conduct an orchestra or an ensemble, I know very much different families of instruments. And because when you compose, you have to know this exactly. And when you conduct your piece in front of instrument, it's very strange sensation. But for me, it's like this: composing conducting.
Clément, have you tried composing music?
Not really, not really. Sometimes I'm thinking about it. I'm attracted by this, sure. But I also have so much respect for what has been done before and what real good composers are able to do now. And a little bit also afraid by the huge world to know. I mean techniques and musics, and it is a lot of knowledge you have to have. So it's I mean in the middle of all those feelings at these times, but I'm fascinated by this year, sure.
Mm-hmm. And who is the good composer to you?
Oh,
I mean, not a name, but who is?
It's a good question. First you have to find a definition of the aesthetics you are attracted by. Well, what is what is for you the evolution of the languages of music? Is there many paths, many ways? What can we do after what all the giants have done in the beginning of the 20th century? What can we do after Wagner or Stravinsky? Or is it still possible to find new ways with the traditional type of writing and the traditional way to think harmonies in composition and orchestration? Is it doing all the time the same things, or is it trying to find different ways of expressions and everything? So it is very complicated to answer this, but at this time I'm attracted by the sons of the second Vienna school, and the evolution since Boulez and Lachenmann and many brilliant composers that and they had many students, and they have been the mentors of many of the composers I like and I play at this time, and so this is it.
Dylan, do you have a definition of good composer too?
Good composer. Yeah, for me, good composer is a man or a woman who knows exactly what he wants. Not because sometimes when you have to conduct a creation with a composer and you ask the composer about something and he says, oh, no. Yeah, I like to work with composer who knows exactly what they want, and it's very interesting to have this kind of composer, not yes, it's I think.
Mm-hmm. So let's speak maybe a little about your shows. As I know, one of the last shows you created is Pirate Concerto. What is this show about?
It's about a pirate.
Okay. I read that you use the phrase "living orchestra" for the show. What does it mean for you?
Yes, in this show, I want to imagine a symphonic orchestra different. I mean, all musicians in the orchestra have an excellent level with our instrument. So with this, we can play a lot of different style of music. And in this Parrot concerto, there's no conductor. So 50 musicians and symphonic orchestra, no conductor. And the orchestra play alone, and the pirate, so my character, my pirate, never the pirate speak, you know, just sounds between the pirate and the orchestra. And for me, it's like a dream, because you communicate just with sounds and with body. And the question is, for me, is here, like how to make an orchestra concert a living orchestra. Not, yeah, we know the orchestra play very strict tradition, and in this show I go, I push this academic way, like with the body, with the space, and with the interaction with the audience, because there is an interaction with the audience. How? You have to come to see this show. But it's this, the particularity of this show is I can play this with all orchestra, French orchestra, German orchestra, Russian orchestra. It's not a problem because there is no text, just sounds, music, and scores, sometimes, and sometimes no score.
So you are interested in musical theater?
Of course, I love theater. I love theater and I love music, and I love music theater.
And what is your, maybe one of the favorite ones, example of the best musical theater for you?
Of course, the Apergis is very incredible composer about this theater. It's like, yes, music and theater. And I met this composer Apergis to speak with him about transversality in the arts, and it's very interesting. And in the ensemble Intercontemporain, sometimes there is something like this with theater music, and for me it's very fresh.
Do you think it is necessary for orchestra or ensemble to have a conductor?
No.
What is better?
It's not, but it's different, because orchestra, if you play like Beethoven symphony or Brahms symphony, the orchestra knows this music. Everybody inside the orchestra knows this music. And you know this orchestra, Les Dissonances, it's an orchestra in France, and there is no conductor, alone. And with the ensemble, it's different, because sometimes it's very, very difficult to play piece with the rhythmic, and they have to have someone in front of the ensemble who help the ensemble. But I think the conductor the job of the conductor is to know very much the score, and he has these ears, you know, to do the balance with the, because he's not in the orchestra, so he can say more or less, and it's difficult job in the big orchestra to do this. And for the ensemble, it's different. You have to be very clear and very precise, and you have to answer about questions about musicians in the ensemble, because if they ask, I don't know how I can play this, you have to answer, because if you say, I don't know, it's not possible.
Clément, is lack of conductor about liberty for you?
What? I don't know.
Is what?
I asked about is for Clément lack of conductor in ensemble, in orchestra, whatever, about liberty for performance?
J'ai pas compris. Clément, t'as compris ou pas?
No. Is it about conductor or performer? Your question.
About performer.
Yes. What is it for performer? The difference between.
As a different. I mean, when you play without conductor.
Yeah.
Do you feel more free, or you feel something else, or maybe with conductor you feel that you have to do something what is necessary in this moment, but not exactly what you want to do?
Okay. As Dilan just told you, it is. It depends of what we're playing. Sometimes you can play some virtuoso music. By example, a fantastic piece called Cortège. It is for 15 musicians. It is maybe the limit of the thing, but you can play it without conductor. And each musician takes the lead sometimes. But it is possible. We can reach a very high level of difficulty without conductor. But if you have 3 concerts in a row and many programs and many pieces, I mean real life things for our kind of band, we have to have a very precise conductor, able to show and to show us and to take the responsibility of some artistic choice like tempo or dynamics, and to be very clear and very efficient sometimes. But yes, we can also try to play a very famous piece by Ligeti by ourselves, because we played it many times. If we have enough time to rehearse, it will be very difficult, but it's possible. But sometimes new pieces or very, very difficult ones, I mean for the rhythms or the balances, we need a conductor, a good one, if possible.
Okay, now I would like to move on to another important part of the life of many musicians, teaching. Clément, what is most important to you in teaching?
It is the essence of the word pedagogy. It is being able to, like if you're walking in the woods in the night, following by your students, and try to bring them some light, okay, to discover in which directions we can go and how we can go there, and to help them. There is transmission of tradition, knowledge, experiences, but the most fascinating part for me is to unlock things, to find the keys to help. And it's a mix. It's a mix of what you can share, give, patient, everything, and a mix of making them artists by themselves, and to find to be great artists, and to find solutions by themselves when they have a technical problem or a musical problem. So it's one of the main parts of my activities, and one of the most exciting parts also.
In 1998, you founded the Academy of Brass and Percussions of Surgères. So what is an idea of the Academy?
Well, I was just 19 at this time, and I spent many summers and many vacations in my youth to go in summer camps or musical camps or things like this, and I loved it. I discovered a lot of things. I had a lot of new friends each time, and like Dylan wanted to be a conductor very young. I wanted to create that kind of school, summer academy, and dedicated to my family, my musical family, brass and percussions. And so it grew up years after years until becoming the most important in France, number one for percussions and for brass. And it's great because it's a small town. It's my hometown, first hometown. It's maybe 7,000 people just there, but there is many concerts each days. A lot of students, from beginners to professional students. Well, the most amazing artists from all over the world are coming for master classes and concerts each year. So it's something it's very important to me, and I'm always working a little bit every day of the year. And it is also very interesting to change your hat. You're not just a soloist or a teacher or a trumpet player or in contemporary music or in classical music. You're also you have to work with volunteers to imagine and to lead the teaching teams, to speak with family, to organize many things were not only music and artistic things. So it's important for me to be on the other side of the stage or the screen.
Dylan, what is about you? What is the most important in teaching to you?
I love teaching. I love this way of teaching. Is for me, it's attract curiosity in the learner. Like, okay, it's not for me. It's not. I want you do this now. It's what do you want to do? Well, what is your way now in your life? And with this, I can give him something maybe he doesn't know. And like contemporary music, when you teach a lot of time, the student doesn't know very much contemporary music. They don't know they don't know Olivier Messiaen. Olivier Messiaen, I don't know. So for me, it's to give something, and after the lessons, he wants to go and to learn and to hear music, hear Messiaen. It's an example, but teach it for me now. Not teach just my discipline. I like to open like transversality of arts. Example, when you conduct this piece, you have to go in this museum, or you have to watch this movie, or to read this book. But it's not an obligation. It's just be curious about this. And something very important, it's to give my passion of this, because for me it's the most important. If you play music and you don't know why, yes, you have to be alive with your music in your body, in your way of life. When you are walking on the street, you are thinking about music, about arts, what you want in your life with arts. So that's my way. Give the passion and give the love.
Your website says that you base your teaching on the principle of transversality, and you told us about this. Could you say us what is this? What do you mean?
About
with
what?
Transversality.
Transversality, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because actually all my artistic life was built around transversality and meeting other artists. I mean, dancer, drawer, actor, clown. You know clown? With the red nose, clown, and scenograph or choreograph. And I love to mix different arts together, or maybe same different music style together. Like I said at the beginning, last week I conducted hip hop with symphonic orchestra, and yes, for me it's real very rich to do this kind of project, or project with break dance and symphonic orchestra. I love this, and in my different shows like pirate show, I created a team of 9 artists, you know, with scenograph, lighter, the dramaturge, choreographer, and it's very you are, everybody is here, and you speak about a show, and you can't imagine all. And when an artist take take an idea, he said to you, I would like to try this in my discipline. I mean, scenograph with the space, and you don't know this, so you imagine and you listen the other artist. And transversality is so rich for build something.
You told that you spoke about transversality with Apergis.
Apergis?
Yeah. We spoke with him about that.
Yes, I spoke with him about transversality, with dancer and actor, but it's different for me, like music theater and transversality. It's a big question, what is exactly the transversality, but it's not the same. But I like the word totally art. It's totally art, no? And there is a discipline, a language with the transversality is the best. It's sound painting. Sound painting, you can create a piece with all artists, musician, actor, drawer, plastic arts, visual arts, very rich.
Clément, are you close to the idea Dylan is talking about transversality?
Yes, very close. The experiences we had those last years with the ensemble, I mean, the experiences about presenting a piece with dancers, an opera, because Dilan was speaking about total art. I didn't knew that sound painting could be total art. I was thinking first to cinema or opera, but it's also a very good way, yes, certainly. But each time we for example, just before the first lockdown, we were supposed to play the Soldier's Tale, you know, l'histoire du soldat by Stravinsky, and it's a version with an actor and a dancer. So it open fields just like this. It's not just music or theater, And yes, each time I had the opportunity to play for many shows, you know, historical shows where you have costumes and you're playing music from the Renaissance time, or for small cities, or in the summer, everything. And all the times it's very rich. You can learn so many things, not just the notes.
As you know, you have to leave us soon. So could you please tell us about your current project, Clément?
Well, my next project, it is to come in to Moscow and to play fantastic music by Bulezom, Live Zalim, by Nina Schenk. You know, it's the first time I think I played 2 solo pieces by 2 female composers in the same program. So I'm very glad to do this. Yes, it's very special. It's special to me to play those 2 pieces, and it's great that we have Jan Maresch, fantastic composer, Jan Maresch music, and so it's my next project, and to teach in Moscow. You know, at this time in this year, it is something to go there for us. It's quite an adventure. So that's a huge project.
Well, Dylan, do you have to go also at through 5 minutes, or you can stay?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, so maybe, Clément, I would like to say you lots of thanks for this interview, for this dialogue with you. I really hope that we'll see you Thursday, yeah, 19th November. So thank you very much, Clément.
Thank you for your interview.
So see you soon, I hope.
Okay. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Well, and for you, I would like to ask you a couple of questions. As I know, you are involved with a pedagogical and social project Demos.
Mm-hmm.
As a music director of the Metz Youth Ensemble, what is this project?
Demos is a very nice social project in France. It's a project during 3 years with 120 children, something like this. And it's another way of approaching pedagogy with singing, dancing, and of course, play instruments and the orchestra. During 3 years, all children play an instrument, and we create a symphonic orchestra with these young children. And but they don't know, they can't read a score, they can read the music. So we have to imagine how we can play together. And it's incredible project because for the first year we will play Baroque music and singing and dancing. The second year it's about world music. I mean, I have to choose a music around the world for this year. So for me, I choose music Balkan, you know, Balkan music, music.
I know.
And for the last year, the third year, it's a creation for these children. And so for me, it was a very nice opportunity to compose for these children. So I composed like a contemporary piece for these young musicians. And it was a really nice project during 3 years. It's a little, you know, this El Sistema. El Sistema, it's in south of America, in comment ça s'appelle? The country, I don't remember, and it's in this way to do this demos.
Mm-hmm. And also about your teaching practice. Your official page says that you teach conducting and sound painting. What do you mean by sound painting?
You don't know sound painting?
I know, but I'm interested in what do you mean in this?
I don't know if in Russia the people know sound painting or no.
No, if you mean some practice.
Hmm? It's a real language.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so no, I mean sound painting it's about create some new sounds or whatever.
Actually, sound painting is create a piece in real time with different gestures, and so it's a live composing for musicians, actors, dancers, or visual artists. You can do sound painting without score and with which level you want. I mean, children or professor or professional. There is a real syntax in the sound painting. I mean, who play? So there is a sign of this. Who play? Everybody play. What? So, for example, a long tune. How? So here the volume. And when? Now. Play now this long tune. But now there's like 1,000 gesture signs. So it's a real language and very rich. And you can do this wherever you want. If I want, I can play something in Russia with students or with, yes, because it's very nice, universal language.
No, in Russia it is not so popular, so we don't have lots of practice of this. No, maybe we know just term in this term or something like that, but not as a something usual. And last questions about upcoming plans and about this concert. Could you please tell us about the program? Who composed it? How? What it was guided by? Why these composers? Why these compositions?
Actually, yeah. So it's a very rich program. But at the beginning, we had to play a piece of Kurtag on Russian poems, but for different reasons, particularly with this context, this piece was cancelled. But now the new program is very eclectic program because like with Clément, so very recent pieces for solo, like trumpet, or another pieces for duo, for cello and double bass. And it's an incredible piece with like effect of guitar, pedals guitar, very nice. There is a very famous piece for this, for the ensemble, is Dérive 1, Pьером Булезом. And yes, it's like, I don't know the name in English, like a tube. It's very famous for the ensemble. Two other composers is Chiarino and Xenakis, who have their own language and atmosphere. and for the end, two other composers, French composer of the last quarter of the century with Marèche and Mantovani. So it's a virtuoso program to introduce the brilliance of the ensemble to the Moscow public, where the ensemble has not played for more than 30 years. Yes.
Well, and what is your current project after Moscow?
After Moscow, at the end of November, I will conduct in Radio France, Philharmonic Radio France, with a special project, jazz project, with a famous singer, woman singer. Her name is Mélodie Gardot. Mélodie Gardot. So a project with her and her band and symphonic orchestra. Very nice project. And after this, I will conduct an opera during December. And at the end of December, for the new year, I will create my new show with a symphonic orchestra. The name is An Orchestra Tower by Bike. And so I think it will be comic orchestra.
Okay, merci beaucoup, Dylan, for this conversation.
With pleasure.
I hope also that we can see you this Thursday in Moscow with this amazing program and this really impression concert. So thanks a lot.
With pleasure, and see you soon.
Yeah, hope so. À bientôt.
À bientôt.
Bye bye.